the science behind why we can't stop thinking about someone. Have you ever found yourself unable to stop thinking about someone, even when you try to focus on other things? Maybe it's a crush, an ex-partner, or someone you've had a recent encounter with. Whatever the case may be, the experience of being consumed by thoughts of someone else can be both exhilarating and frustrating. But what's the science behind why we can't stop thinking about someone? In this video, we'll explore some of the psychological and neurological processes that underlie this phenomenon. 1. The brain's reward system. One reason why we can't stop thinking about someone is that our brains are wired to seek out pleasure and reward. When we think about someone we're attracted to, for example, our brains release dopamine, a neurotransmitter that's associated with pleasure and motivation. This dopamine release can create a sense of euphoria and reinforce the desire to think about that person even more. 2. The availability heuristic. The availability heuristic is a cognitive bias that causes us to overestimate the frequency or likelihood of events that are easy to recall. When we're unable to stop thinking about someone, they become more salient and memorable to us, making it easier for our brains to recall thoughts and memories related to that person. This can create a feedback loop where we continue to think about them more and more, simply because they're at the forefront of our minds. 3. The Zeigarnik effect. The Zeigarnik effect is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when incomplete tasks or goals are more likely to be remembered than completed ones. When we're unable to stop thinking about someone, it may be because our brains perceive our relationship with that person as unfinished business. This can create a sense of tension or unease that drives us to continue thinking about them in an effort to resolve those feelings. 4. The power of emotion. Emotions play a powerful role in our ability to think and remember. When we have a strong emotional attachment to someone, our brains are more likely to encode memories related to that person more deeply and vividly. This can make it difficult to stop thinking about them, especially if we're experiencing intense emotions like love, anger, or longing. 5. The role of rumination. Rumination is a pattern of negative thinking that can be triggered by a variety of factors, including stress, anxiety, and depression. When we're unable to stop thinking about someone, it's possible that we're ruminating on negative feelings or memories related to that person. This can create a cycle of negative thinking that's difficult to break out of. So, what can we do when we find ourselves unable to stop thinking about someone? While there's no one-size-fits-all answer to this question, there are some strategies that may be helpful. One approach is to try to distract yourself with other activities, like exercise, hobbies, or spending time with friends. Another strategy is to focus on the present moment, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Practicing mindfulness techniques like meditation can be helpful in this regard. It's also important to address any underlying emotional issues, such as anxiety or depression, that may be contributing to your ruminative thinking patterns. In conclusion, there are a variety of psychological and neurological processes that can contribute to the experience of being unable to stop thinking about someone. While this can be a frustrating and distracting experience, there are strategies that can help us manage these thoughts and feelings. By understanding the science behind why we can't stop thinking about someone, we can gain greater insight into our own thought patterns and take steps to cultivate a more balanced and fulfilling mental